Yeah, so child-friendly spaces. So as we've been kind of seeing and hearing, like a lot of these kids have gone through a lot of trauma. They've seen people killed. They've been stuck on Mount Sinjar for days without food. There's intense trauma. Families are talking about how the kids are playing and acting out ISIS, like killing one another because of what they've seen. And within this school, one of the women was saying that the kids just sit around all the time and they think about what they've seen and they think about what they've lost. But if they had something to do or somewhere to go, then they could do something different. So that's really the hope for child-friendly space, is to give these kids a place to come and just be kids and to focus their attention on something else. So this is the location that we'd like to use for child-friendly space in Cora. It's the biggest open space. So the idea is to put in some gravel and clean it up and flatten the surface. And then there's going to be 3 sections, which will partition by tarp. So one section will be designated for youngest children, where the moms can come and play with their children, and there'll be some toys suitable for ages like 5 and under. And then there'll be a section with a playground for older kids, like six and up. And then another spot where we're going to put in a classroom and art space with some reading area for the kids, as well as reading and math tutoring. And then in the art space, also that can be an area for teenage girls to come and meet and have a space to come, as well as some organized arts and crafts. And there's about 260 kids in Cora, about 150 between ages of 2 and 11, and about 100, 11 to 18.
So prior to this displacement, they would have been in school.
Right, exactly.
Now they're not in school.
They're not in school, no.
So you have the risk of potentially losing a generation education.
Yeah.
Is UNICEF supporting schools? Are they doing camp schools?
They're doing some
school in the box kind of stuff.
Yeah, in the formal camps.
Are there any teachers in the displaced community that are coming out and showing up?
Yes. Yeah. Most all of the displaced communities have existing teachers.
When you get all this set up, who will staff?
The people within the community, as well as the local church in Cora. They've offered to provide volunteers, but within this community, there's people who have skills and who have experience with children, who will be like most.
Who's going to manage it?
Someone from within the school here.
That's right. You're going to Georgetown.
Yeah, but I want to find an on-site manager from within the community.
Right.
But there's also
what's the risk of being moved from here?
We believe that this will be in place. Now, it's a variable. We can't answer that 100%, but we very much believe that these families will be here this year. But it is certainly something that we have to factor in. But it's a long-term problem. And with each passing day, the government is trying to force families into formal camps. But we very much, God has opened this door of opportunity here at Cora School, and we want to make the most of it. That no one is helping, no one is serving these folks. I mean, talk about 620 people with one working toilet, no shower in place.
And they don't want to go to the village?
To the camps.
They don't.
To the
They do not
camps?
want to go into the
They don't
camps.
want to go to a camp with tents,
Even though there's more infrastructure and more...
yeah. There's a problem with community, togetherness, and then also there are like Hanky, where we went, it looked pretty good, but there are huge wash issues at some of these camps as well, massive things. Also, inside those tents in the camps, it'll be moldy. There's black mold. Like there's some serious challenges there.
Yeah, and anything that we want to put in place here, like the playground, for example, is things that would be portable, that could be moved to a different location if the people here moved and if we assess different needs.
Can you say the risk is that if you make this, the landowners don't want you to make this too permanent, because they ultimately want their land back.
That's right.
So you've got this balancing act.
That's right.
So everything you would spend money on, other than things like septic, you could take with you.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it would be nothing that would be against the intended plan for the building.
And another, I've been working on trying to reduce the sort of assessment implementation cycle because it's so dynamic here. And so I built this septic tank where I decided to do this as quickly as possible because then the maximum benefit would be to the people, right? So that's, you know, I want it now. Yeah, exactly. And that's how I'm going to try to do future projects. So upstairs, the sort of classrooms that are built, and then they've been tarped off and divided into homes. Yeah,
They're
concrete
open,
floors.
there's no heat, there's no
No
electricity.
heat, nothing. Yeah.
So is there no way you could block this whole side off and just
This is cool.
enclose this, get the water out, get the floor done?
There's money.
They're not going to be able to do anything until they get those operations.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and also don't think about the temperature right now.
Yeah.
So during the summertime, we're looking at, well, I mean, what's the temperature during the summer?
It could be 120.
So this would actually be a nice, cool place to shade. You have it open, you have some free air, and don't, you know, the septic tank will be covered.
Oh yeah, no, that's
so,
no, I'm just thinking.
So it's
now.
actually a pretty nice place during 8 months of
Yeah,
the
they've
year.
come through the worst part.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah, the worst part of the winter is over.
Except in the summer, there's going to be a water shortage. So a what? A water shortage. Generally, that's region wide.
Well, on this property.
A well would be quite a lot of money for this.
But I mean,
Yeah,
what was the school
$50,000.
gonna do for water?
The school was going to connect to the city network. The government's refused to connect because it's going to overload the city network because it wasn't modeled for people who are living here. It's water is a
Water.
political.
They're trucking it in.
Yeah, they're trucking it in. Water is a very difficult problem here, and yeah, it's politically difficult. It's technically difficult.
Let's keep moving.